All right, gonna play some PC Replay Baseball 1977. We got the Cubs and the Mets early season. Mets are 3-3, Cubs are 3-2. It's Mike Krukow for the Cubbies and John Matlack for the Mets. Here are the lineups. You can see them. I'm not gonna read them. I guess I'll control the Mets in this game. It doesn't really make much difference.
Replay
Also,
Radio is live from New York.
also
Top
going
of the
to
first.
do a little tutorial as I go along on replay in case people don't know how to play replay baseball and they don't know what's going on in the game. I'll just explain as much as I can as we go along. And as you can see, just looking at Matlack's card, he's an S7-4. That raised 4 means he can pitch 4 innings. If he gives up, normally the way I have it set, you have different endurances for pitchers. I have it set where if you give up 4 runs in the game, then on the next batter that gets on, you go to your B grades. But if you have a raised number, that means Matlack can pitch 4 innings even if he gives up 4 runs, and he won't go to his B grades. But then after that 4th inning, then he'll be vulnerable to going to his B grades. If you ever give up 6 runs, then you automatically go to your B grade. So 6 runs is kind of like the you're done kind of number in replay baseball. Column 4 is ground ball, usually ground ball results. You see the infielders. 6 is your fly ball column. That's where your home runs are. 5 is kind of your control column for pitchers. So that's where a lot of walks and hit by pitches are. You got a lot of hits in column 3, as well as the third base coach. Also, column 5, you have the action chart comes into play a lot. You see on the batter's card, they have letters EK. If the next base is open, then you roll on the action chart. And then, of course, the shaded areas on the cards are when you go to the ballpark card, and we'll explain that when that happens. You roll 3 D6s, red, white, and blue. The red gives you the column for both cards. White gives you the row for the batter. Blue gives you the row for the pitcher. So it's really two different rolls. It's a red-white roll for the batter and a red-blue roll for the pitcher. And you add the 2 numbers that you get in the boxes, and then you would check the charts, which come with the game. And the main charts are 6 columns, column 1 through 6, and all the results are based on the column you roll on and the result number you get. So here we go. We're going to start the game. Matlack, left-hander, going to face Ivan De Jesus. And De Jesus so far on the season is 6 for 21, batting .286. He has a home run and 3 runs batted in. And here we go. And right off the bat, we're in column 4, which is the infield fielding column. And we got a 2 on De Jesus, so a 4-2 and a 4-5 on the pitcher. It's an 11 plus a 3 is a 14. 12 to 16 in column 4 is always an error check. So now we're going to check Buddy Harrelson's error range, and the 3 is actually Buddy Harrelson's fielding rating. In column 4, you use the fielding rating of the player that comes up, and 4 and 5 are always the shortstop. And here it was a 5, so we're going to use Buddy Harrelson. His error rating is 55. It has to be over 55 to be an error, and the plus is a auto steal if De Jesus gets on. So let's see if there's an error. And there is a 6. Not only is there an error, but because the 6 came out, it is a 2-base error.
No outs, man on second.
It was over the number, and the blue 6 indicates a 2-base error. Now, again, the next base is open. So this plus that was on De Jesus' card means that he's going to try and steal third. And there are 2 different auto steals in replay baseball. There's the asterisk, which you see here on Cardinal on 5-4, and the plus, which you see on 2-2. The plus means that it's either going to be a steal or a caught stealing. And there can be a throwing error on a plus steal attempt. In an asterisk steal attempt, it's just steal or hold and there's no throwing error. So now we're going to see the 2-digit number that's going to tell us whether he can steal or not. And here it is. There's different ways you can do it in replay. I do it where you combine the pitcher's hold and the catcher's fielding rating, and then you look, there's a chart, and you just cross-reference it, and it gives you a 2-digit number. And in this case, it's 46. So to steal, he has to get over 46. If it's 46 or less, he's going to be caught stealing. And here we go. And 14, he is caught stealing.
One out, base is empty.
The 2-base error is erased on the caught stealing, and there's 1 out, nobody on. And now Matlack will face Jose Cardinal. And again, we're in column 4, but this is just a 4 in column 4, and that's just a ground ball to Harrelson. Again, 5 is always the shortstop. So Buddy Harrelson is a 3 shortstop. So that's the 3 we used, and we used Cardinal's number and got a 4. So there's 2 out, nobody on, and now it's Matlack and Bittner. And here, now this is going to be a rare play check. 57 and a 2. Anytime you get 58 to 62 in column 3, it's a rare play check. Now, it doesn't automatically mean it's going to be a rare play. If you get an even number on the D6, it's just going to be a dribbler in front of the mound, and he'll try and throw out, in this case with 2 outs, the batter. If there are men on base and less than 2 outs, you have a choice of who you want to try and throw out. If we roll a 1, then that is going to be a foul ball, and we go to the ballpark card, which you can see here. It's Shea on the bottom. Foul pops, 11 to 46 foul out, 51 to 66 foul. So if a 1 comes up here on the purple D6, we're going to roll again to see if it's either going to be in the stands or a foul out. The only time it's a rare play is if we roll a 3 or a 5, and then we'll roll on the rare play chart. So let's see what happens. Here we get a 1, so it's going to be the foul out check. And again, we're going to roll 11 to 46 is going to be a foul out to first, and 51-66 is going to be in the stands. And that's a foul out to first, and that is the end of the inning. Craneful gets that.
No runs, no hits,
second.
1 error, and none left on. Bottom of the first.
Bottom of the first, I'm sorry. Bottom of the first. And Kruko is going to be on the mound now for the Cubbies against Lee Mazzilli. Now, he is in S5-3, so his stamina is only to the 5th inning, but he does have a 3 as a raised number. So he can pitch 3 innings. Even if he gives up 4 or 5 runs, he can stay on his A grades. But as soon as he gives up 6, he goes to his B grades. So Kruko is going to be pitching to Lee Mazzilli. And there is a... Now here, this is a good one. I should have put it on where I have to click
out,
to end play.
Empty.
That was a 6-2-2. So normally you'd be in column 6, but if you look at Kruko's card, he's an extreme ground ball pitcher. So he has actual extra ground balls on 6-1 and 6-2. 6-1 goes to the second baseman, 6-2 goes to the shortstop. So because Kruko is an extreme ground ball pitcher, some of these 6 rolls are going to actually revert to a column 4 roll. And so if we roll like that was a 6-2-2, so that went to the shortstop. And in this case, when you have a ground ball in column 6, you actually use column 4 of the batter's card. So a 6-2-2 would actually change to a 4-2-2. And it would be shortstop, and then you would take whatever number was in the 4-2 column for the batter. So that's why this is an extreme ground ball pitcher in Kruko. So there's 1 out. He was able to make the play, and Felix Millan is up. And here's a 2-6. Now we're going to go to the ballpark card, because we got a shaded number in Felix Millan's box, 2-6. So now the raised number there was a 3, but we're going to actually get a new raised number based on the ballpark card. And it has to be under the fielder's fielding rating for it to be an out. So you see Cardinal is a 3. So that's why here the result 1 or 2, which is under his 3, is an out. But if it comes up as a 3, 4, or 5, it would either be equal to or higher than his fielding rating, and it would be a base hit. And it's based on a 2D6 roll, and the die roll numbers are here. So Cardinal will make this play on anything from 11 to 63, because 1 and 2 is under his fielding rating. And he makes it with a 61 flat left. So that's 2 out.
2 outs, bases empty.
And now John Milner will come up. And there's just a ground ball. That's a column 4 result, and a 5 in column 4, which is just a normal ground ball, and a 2, a 4-2 is always to the second baseman on the pitcher.
Top of the second.
So Manny Trio made that play. You see Matt Leck, the same thing. 4-2s are always to second base. So we're going to go Bobby Mercer here against Matt Leck. Top of the second. And now we get a shaded number in column 6. Now, Matt Leck is not an extreme ground ball pitcher, so all of his 6 results are fly ball results. Now, we got to get a new column 6 number for Bobby Mercer because it's shaded. So again, we go to the ballpark card, and it's based on lefty-righty. So if you see on the card on here on the right, we're going to use this top left-hand batter portion, and that's where the die numbers come from. And we're going to get a new number. His number was a 9, but it could be anywhere from a 6 to 11, and then we're going to add it to the 3 of Matlack. So, and they tell you the results down here. If it's a 10 or 11, it's a guaranteed home run. If it's a 9, it's a possible home run. An 8, I think, is also a possible home run on a 6. And 6-7 will be a base hit. So we have to re-roll. And that's, here we go. Here's an 8 and 3 is an 11. That means we have to roll on a new chart. On in column 6, there is a chart for rolls of 11 or 12. So in this case, we got a result of 8 plus 3 is 11. So we have to re-roll on this 11 chart. There's also a 12 chart. If it came up 12, we would roll on the 12 chart. So here, 1 to 5 is a single, but 6 is a home run. That's why it says single question mark, because there is one number that will be a home run. On 9, 9 and 3 would be 12. It's home run question mark because in the 12 column, 5 of the 6 are home runs. So it reverses, and there's only 1 single. So let's see what happens here, and it's just a base hit.
No outs, man on first.
So runner on first, and he had a steal mark on his card, so he's going to now try and steal. And it's an asterisk steal, so it's just going to be steal or hold. You see, just now it's going to be steal or hold, not steal or caught stealing. So again, it has to be over 46 to be a stolen base. And it's not, so he'll just hold.
No outs, man on
In
first.
this case, he's not thrown out because it was an asterisk steal and not a plus steal. So now with nobody out, runner on first, Jerry Morales will come up. And this is going to be an error check. 14. Remember, 12 to 16 in column 4 is always an error check, and 6 is always the second baseman. Felix Millan is a 51, so it has to be over 51 to be an error. And it is. It's a 66. So first and second.
No outs,
Nobody
men on
out.
first and second.
And with a man on base, you don't do the blue die 2-base error one. It depends on the base situation as to whether you roll 3 dice with the blue die to see if it's a 1 or 2-base error or not. In that case, with a runner on first, you just rolled the 2 dice to see if it was a 1-base error. So first and second, nobody out for Steve Ontiveros. And just 1 second, options. I'm going to just temporarily put it on click to end play, just so in case I want to talk about something, it won't go to the next play. And here we go again. We got another raised number, and this is going to be added to 5, so this is a very likely home run. We're going to get a new column 6 number again on the ballpark card. Ontiveros is a switch hitter, so we're going to use the right-hand batter numbers this time. So all of these numbers from 41 to 66 is a home run, and 23 to 36 is a likely home run, and even 11 to 22 is going to have a 1 in 6 chance of being a home run. So let's get the new number, and it's a home run on a 56. Ontiveros just hit a 3-run home run for the Cubbies off Matlack. And it's 3-0 Cubbies.
He now has 3 RBIs today.
So there again, the new number, instead of a 9, it became a 10, and we added it to the 5, and a 15, and column 6 is always a home run.
No outs, base is empty.
So now we're going to go to George Mittelwald. There's still nobody out here. And now this is a 9, and that's just a walk in column 5. Remember, column 5 is the walk and hit by pitch kind of control column for the pitcher. So here, Mittelwald walks on a 9.
No outs, man on first.
So he's on, and Manny Trio will be up. And there's a 35, and that's a double in column 3. Now, not only is it a double in column 3, but we're going to now roll on the third base coach to see if Mittelwald can score. So on these column 3 hits, very often with a man on base, you're going to roll on the third base coach. And there's different ways, different strategies you can use. It's almost always normal, though. You can also have the runners playing safe, and I think you could also be aggressive. But most of the time, you're in normal. So here, we're just going to roll 2 dice and see if the runner on third can score. And he can, but he gets an extra base. So Mittelwald was able to score on that. And it's 4-0. And now, you see, Matlack has now given up 4 runs. But because he has that...
man on second.
Because he has that 4 raised number, he's still going to be allowed to pitch on his A grades, even if he allows another base runner. So now Kruko is there's nobody out, but the runner's already in scoring position. I'm just going to let him swing. He's a 200 hitter, actually. But here, 39 in column 6 is a strikeout. So that's just
1 out,
runner on second,
man on
1 out.
second.
And we'll go to back to the top, and Ivan De Jesus. And there's a 5 in column 2 is also a strikeout. In columns 1 and column 2, 1 to 6 is always a strikeout. So anytime you get a 1 to 6 result in columns 1 or 2, it's a strikeout. And here we had a 3 on De Jesus and a 2 on Matlack, so a 5 is a strikeout.
2 outs,
So
man on second.
Matlack comes back and strikes out a couple. He's trying to get out of this inning with no further damage. Jose Cardinal's batting 200 on the season. And again, there's a 4 in column 2, and again, 1 to 6 is a strikeout. So he actually ends up striking out the side, even though he gave
4
it
runs, 3 hits, 1 error, and 1 left
So
on.
we'll go to the
Bottom of the
second, but now the Cubbies have that nice 4-0 lead, and King Kong Kingman will lead it off for the Mets. Let's see how he's doing. He's got 3 homers and 7 ribbies so far in 6 games. He's hitting .375, so he's off to a hot start. But again, there's a 6 in column 1. 1 to 6 is always a strikeout, so you automatically know that's a strikeout. 1 out.
1 out, base is empty.
And that'll bring up Ed Kranepool. And now again, a 2-6, and you see the 2-6 is shaded, so we're going to get a new number in, we're going to get a new raised number in column 2. And again, Bobby Mercer's defense is 2. So in order for him to make this play, the new number has to be a 1 because it has to be under his defense. It can't even be equal to. It has to be under. So the only out is going to be on a 1 if it becomes a 1 from between 11 and 44. Anything else is going to be a base hit. And there it is, a 34. So that 1, the raised number changed to a 1, and Mercer was able to make that play. You see, Kranepool's normal number is a 3, but because it's shaded, we get a new number. 3 would have been a base hit.
2 outs, base is empty.
So there's 2 out for Mike Phillips, he only had 4 at-bats so far in the season. And a 5 is just a ground ball out. So the F would have been an action chart reading if you got on base.
Quietly, nothing doing this half inning.
So those only come into play if you get on base and the next base is open.
Top of the third.
So we're going to go top of the third. It's 4-0, and Bittner will lead off. Bittner is 6 for 22. He's batting .273. And the 29 is just a fly ball out in column 5, fly to center. Once you play this game enough, you start to know what the results are. So I know automatically a 29 in column 5 is a fly out.
1 out, base is empty.
1 out. And then Bobby Mercer's home run 4 ribbies, batting .211 so far, early season. And there's just a 7, and that's just a ground ball out in column 4. And again, 6 always goes to the second baseman, so Felix Millan makes the play. There is an option. There is an option in the options to have this randomized. This is how it is on the cards when you're playing cards and dice. It's always first base for 1, third base for 3, second base for 2 and 6, and shortstop for 4 and 5. But there is an option where you can make this a re-roll and randomize it. I like doing it the way it is on the cards, but I could see it people playing it either way. Jerry Morales is up. There's a lot of options in replay, so you can set it. And here's a 19. That's just a ground ball. The shortstop, number 5, always goes to the shortstop. So that's just a ground ball.
And just like that, the inning's over.
A 19 in column 4. But yeah, there's a lot of options where you can really set it to the way you like to play the game, cards and dice. And that includes endurance. I choose one of the simpler ways to handle endurance, but there are other ways where they have early hooks and all kinds of other things. I choose an easy way to do endurance. But it's all in the options, and you can set it the way you want to play it. All right, Kruko is going to be pitching to Stearns. It's 4-0 Cubbies. Stearns is 4 for 19 so far in the season. And a 47 in column 1, and that's a strikeout unless someone's on base, and then it's a comebacker to the pitcher. So again, you just start to memorize these results, and that's
1 out, base is empty.
And that's Buddy Harrelson coming up. And there's a 5. We said 1 to 6, always a strikeout in column 2. Harrelson strikes out. Kruko pitching well so far, 2 out.
2 outs, base is empty.
And again, an 18 in column 4 is just a ground ball, and 4 always goes to the shortstop. 4 and 5 is always to the shortstop.
And just like that, the inning's over.
So we're going to go to the 4th.
Top of the 4th.
And it's still 4-0 Cubbies on that big second inning with a 3-run home run by Ontiveros. And that was his first home run of the year. He's got 4 ribbies, batting 176. Matlock has a 4 raised number, so he's in his last bonus inning to pitch while giving up 4 runs. And a 6 is a walk, so Ontiveros is on.
No outs.
6 is not always a walk. It depends on the base running situation, but with nobody on base, it is always a walk. So runner on first, nobody out for Mittelwald, who's 2 for 11, batting 182. And there's a 36, and that is a grounded to third and a double play. 36 with a runner on first is a double play. So the Mets turn the 5-4-3 double play, and there are two quick outs in the inning.
2 outs, base is empty.
Again, you just start to memorize those if you play the board game. And even if you play the PC game, after a while, you'll start to memorize. So 2 out in Manny Trio. And there's a 17 in column 5, and that's an infield single for Trio. And there's no asterisk or plus or anything like that, no letters, so there's going to be no extra play after, no steal or anything. And also, you notice on the bottom, they always give you the relevant part of the chart that refers to the result. So this is actually the chart result that you would see if you were playing cards and dice. This is what the chart would say. And 16 to 20 is always an infield single.
2 outs, men on first.
So they always tell you the relevant information you need. Same on the ballpark card, they'll pop up the relevant piece of information you need. So here, there was a base action. Sometimes in column 5, after the result, the column itself will tell you have to check it. In this case, we're checking for a wild pitch or a pass ball. So we're going to use, we'll see if it's a wild pitch. That's right off the charts. That's not off the cards. The chart will tell you have to roll in a certain column on the action chart. In this case, it was for a pass ball or a wild pitch. and 4 comes up pass ball. So we're going to roll on Stearns' pass ball rating, which is a 3, and it has to be over a 3 to be a pass ball. And it's a 4, so it will be a pass ball. If it came up wild pitch, we would roll on Matlack's wild pitch rating, which was a 4. So
Two
that's
outs,
right off
man on
the
second.
base action chart, and it tells you in column 5 after the result. It says now you have to roll on column whatever it is M on the action chart for a wild pitch or a pass ball. So now Krukow will bat with 2 out and a runner on second. And there's a 5, and that's just a ground ball out. Oh no, it's a walk with first base open. So again, 5 is one of those results in column 5 that changes depending on the base situation. If nobody is on, 5 is a grounded a third. But with a man on and first base open, you see it says with runners on and first base open, it's a walk. So here with a runner on second, since first base was open and it was runner on base, 5 instead of a ground ball becomes a base on ball. So bad for
2 outs,
Matlack.
men on first and second.
First and second, 2 out. He walks the pitcher. And then De Jesus is coming up. And Matlack, if he gives up a hit here, might be out of the game. But he doesn't. 47 is a strikeout. Get him out of there. So,
No runs,
we're gonna go
1
to
hit,
the bottom
and 2 left
of
on.
the fourth. 4-0 Cubbies. And also 47 normally that would be a comebacker with men on base, but since the infield was back and there were 2 outs, it's just a strikeout.
Bottom of the
If the
fourth.
infield was halfway for a double play, it would have been a different result. All right, so we go bottom 4. Krukow facing Mazzilli. Mets need to try and get back in this game, but a 34 is just going to be a fly ball to center field. 1 out. Again, that's just one of those kind of results you memorize after a while.
1 out, base is empty.
And Felix Mian will bat. He's 7 for 26, batting 269, and a 52 is just a ground ball to the pitcher. Those with men on base are always runner advance, and the out is at first, but nobody's on, so it doesn't matter. So
2 outs,
2
base
out.
is empty.
Again, that's right off the chart. And Milner will be up. He's 3 for 14, 214 on the season. He does have a home run. 2 out, nobody on, and there's the strikeout, 47 in column 1. So we're
And
through
just
4.
like that, the inning's over.
And Krukow is cruising 4-0 here, and we won't mention that there's a little goose egg here. Oh, I just mentioned it. A little goose egg on the Mets on the scoreboard.
Top of the 5th.
So we go top 5, 4-0. Now Matlack is out of his bonus innings. He had a 4 for bonus innings, so he's now in the 5th. So his bonus inning where he can give up 4 or more runs is over. And a 5, here's the 5 where it's just a ground ball to third because nobody's on base. So you see how certain results can change depending on the base situation. In this case, this 5 is an out because no one's on. Whereas we saw in the other play, there was a runner on second, first base was open, so 5 was a walk. 6 is also a result that depends on the base running situation. There were a couple of others. But here is just a ground ball out, so we ignore the D because he didn't get on base.
1 out, base is empty.
If he got on base, it would have been a steal attempt. So 1 out, and Larry Bittner is up. Bittner is 6 for 23, batting 261. And there's a base hit. Line drive single and a possible error. So we're now going to have to roll on Mazzilli's error rating. And the way I have it set up, you use the blue die for field if it's not mentioned. So like 1 and 2 is left, I think 3 and 4 is center, 5 and 6 is right. Here Mazzilli is a 54 error, so we have to go over 54 to have the error, and he does with a 63. So that's a single and an error on Mazzilli. And it's first and second, 1 out, and now
1 out, man on second.
Matlack will face Bobby Mercer with a runner on second. And there is a strikeout. That's a big strikeout, 2 out.
2 outs, man on second.
And that'll bring up Jerry Morales. And that's a lefty-righty single. This result, when you see these 42s and 47s in column 3, there's a lefty-righty split factor built into column 3. So there are some results where if it's lefty-righty, it's a hit, and if it's lefty-lefty or righty-righty, it's an out. This is one of those, a 44 in column 3. And Morales gets a big hit to make it
2
5-0.
outs, man on first.
And Steve Ontiveros will now bat, runner on first, 2 out. And a 64 in column 3 is a line drive single to center. First and third, 2 out.
2 outs, men on first and
George
third.
Mittelwald. Let's see, we'll give him one more chance to get out of this inning. And that's a lefty-righty single. Again, it's that 42 plus the 2 is a 44. That is again a lefty-righty result. And that is the 6th run that Matlack has given
2
up.
outs, men on first and second.
And you see now, because he's given up 6 runs, he automatically goes to his B grades. So we're going to be taking him out. He did not have it today. Who do they have that's more of a long... we could put in Myrick. Most of these guys are starters. Espinosa. Espinosa, 200 innings. He started most of his games, though. Swan was a starter. Sadecki, only 4 relief appearances. We'll put in Myrick. All right, so Myrick will face Trio, first and second, 2 out. And there's a 14 in column 2, and that's a base hit. And that's going to score the 7th run. Unfortunately, this game is completely lopsided, but
2 outs, men on
sort of
second
as a
and third.
tutorial as well. So now with Myrick, for relievers, I use this system where you just add 2 to the R number, and that's the number of batters he can face. So in Myrick's case, R6 plus 2, he can face 8. Now it's down to 7. And Kruko will bat here with 2 out, and that's a shaded 5. So we're going to get a new number in this column 3. So they bring up the relevant column 3 information. And it has to be either a 5 or a 62 to be a base hit. So that's number 63 and up. So most of the numbers are outs. And that's an out, 45, fly to left. You add the 3 to the pitcher number.
3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on.
So unfortunately for the Mets, they're trailing
Bottom
7-0 in this game, but we still have a little bit of drama, as the goose egg is still on the board for the Mets, and we'll see if Kingman can do something about that. And that's his Cubs 3 in column 1 as a strikeout, 1 out.
1 out, base is empty.
And I'll bring up Eddie Cranepool. And there's a 3 in column 4, is just a ground and a short. So 2 quick outs.
2
He's
outs,
pitching
base
some
is
game.
empty.
And that'll bring up Phillips, who's 0 for 5 on the season. And a 4 is just a ground ball to short. So we go through 5 innings.
It's a 1-2-3 inning.
7-0 Cubs.
Top of the 6th.
Myrick trying to give the Mets some innings here. De Jesus will lead it off. And again, this is a 2-6, so it's a shaded number where we're going to get a new raised number. And because it was a 5, again, like I said, 5 and 6 is to the right fielder. And it has to be under Kingman's 2 to be an out. That's why the only out is if the number changes to a 1, and that's 11 to 44. And 43 is in there, so that's an out. So even though it was only one number, from a Dyro standpoint, it was 11 to 44, so it was still
1 out,
likely
base is
to
empty.
be a 1 in and out. Jose Cardinal up, and that's a 7. That's a pop out. 7s are pop outs. Unless there's a runner on third, it can be a sacrifice fly. It could change to a sac fly if the batter has that carrot. We see in Cardinal's number 1-3, he has that carrot. So if there's a runner on third and you have that carrot and you get a pop out, that becomes a sac fly, actually.
2 outs, base is empty.
He must have had a decent number of sac flies in his season. So 2 out, nobody on for Bittner. And there's a 17 in column 5, and that's an infield single. And again, column 5 might say to roll on the action chart for a pass ball or a wild
2 outs,
pitch.
men on
Let's see.
first.
It does. So column 5 would just say roll on column M of the action chart, and we're going to see if it's going to be a wild pitch or a pass ball. Again, it's going to be a possible pass ball. So Stearns again is a 3, and a 5 is a pass ball. That's the second pass ball of the game. So runner on second, 2 out. And
2 outs, man on second.
Mercer gets a shot here. And there is just a down is a 21 in column 4. Now with the infield back, which it is with 2 out here, 20 and 21 are umpire calls, and that is just a close play at first base. So this is just like a bang bang close play at first. It's either going to be a 20 or a 21. In this case, it's a 21. And we're going to roll a d6 on a 21. 2 to 5 is safe. If it was a 20, it's reversed. 2 to 5 is out. So here there's a better chance of a runner being safe on 21, but a 6 is still out. So it's still 2 out of 6 chance.
No runs,
33%,
1 hit,
out.
and 1 left on.
So that's just a bang bang play, and it went the Mets' way. So we're going to go
Bottom
to
of
the
the
bottom of
sixth.
the 6th. And John Stearns is going to face Mike Kruko. And there's a 37 in column 1 and a grounder to second, 1 out. Wow, Kruko pitching a game
1 out,
here.
base is empty.
Bring up Harrelson. And 71 is a pop out to first. You don't get too many 70s in this game. That was a 71 in column 3, and a 71 is a pop out to first. And honestly, I don't see that result.
2 outs, base is empty.
I wasn't even sure if that was a hit or an out. I guess we're going to have to pinch hit from Myrick here. Who are our lefties? We got Hodges and let's pinch hit Bruce Beauclair. Oh, I didn't accept it. Sorry. Pinch hit. I didn't hit the pinch hit button. So Bruce Beauclair is going to bat for Myrick. And a 4 is just a ground ball out to short in column 5. We are going to go to the 7th. Krukow pitching a ball game here. And it's 7-0. He's well past his S5, but he's pitching a shutout, so right now it doesn't matter. Now I got to get Myrick out of there. We don't have a lot of relievers left, and hate to have to use their good. We'll use Bob Apodaca here, and he'll come in to face Jerry Morales. And 37 in column 6 is a strikeout. Kind of number
1 out, base is empty.
For a while. And this is a 6 in column 4. It's just a ground ball. And remember, 4 and 5 always go to short. So that was to Buddy Harrelson. 2 out.
2 outs, base is empty.
And again, that 3 in column 4. When it's the column 4 roll, you actually use the fielder's fielding rating. You don't use the pitcher's number here. You use the fielder's fielding rating, and you add that to the batter's number in the column 4 results. And if there is an extreme ground ball pitcher, it would be the same in the column, for the column 6 results that we saw earlier. Here's Mitterwald. And a 37 column 1 is a ground out of second.
And just like that, the inning's over.
That was a quick inning.
It's the bottom of the 7th, and we've got a no-hitter going.
Yeah, we got 7th inning stretch, and we still got that goose egg on the board. Let's see if Mazzilli can do something about it. And he does with an 8. If you get a 7 or 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I think, is a base hit. Chart in front of me, but an 8 is a base hit and a plus sign. Now here, because I'm using auto steal, obviously with this score,
no outs,
this steal's not going to make much sense, but I have auto steal on, so he is going to try and steal the base. I think there might be a way to cancel it out, but I'm going to let him just steal it. This game's not going anywhere anyway. It's caught stealing if it's 36 or less, and a 64 is a steal, so he does steal the base. And because it was a 6 number at the beginning, it was 64. Any like 6-1 and higher, I think, you have to roll to see if the catcher has a throwing error. So because it was a 6 number, 64, we're going to see if Mitterwald has a throwing error. 37 or higher is an error, but he doesn't have a throwing error. So it's just running
no outs, man on second.
Out. And Felix Millan is up. And there's a 37 in column 1. We'll run on second. It's a ground ball to second. He goes to third, which makes sense on the ground ball to the right side.
1 out, man on third.
And that'll bring up Milner. We'll run on third, 1 out. And here we're going to get another shaded number and a new raised number in column 2. 4 is the center fielder because 3 and 4 is the center fielder. Morales is a 2, so it has to be a 1 for an out. That's 11 to 44, because it has to be under his fielding rating to be an out. And it's not. 54 is a double, and let's get the first one. That's 7-1. And it's actually a triple. Is this a... Yeah, because it's because the batter's speed was higher than the outfielder's arm, he actually gets a triple out of it. So even though it was a double on the card, the batter's speed higher than the outfielder's arm makes it a triple. So there's just a
1 out,
little extra
man on third.
where the batter's speed comes into play, and he's able to get a triple. Krukow now is on his B grades. He gave up a run, his shutout is over, and he's past his S5. So he goes to his B grades. Runner on third one. I'm going to let him, since it's 7-1, I'm going to let him try and get Kingman, and then if he gives up something to Kingman, I'll get him out of it. But 7 is a pop-out. 7 is, see, now we're just using his B grades, so we just use this row of numbers. And since it's a column 1, he uses the 3 plus the 4. 7 is a pop-out, strands the runner at third. Now
2 outs, man on third.
And Kranepool is up. I'm still going to let him try and get out of the inning because he pitched so well. Let's see if he can get Kranepool. And he does. With a 39, he struck him out. So even on his B grades, you see, you can still pitch a guy on his B grades. You don't have to panic and automatically remove him. You can still get outs.
Top of the 8th.
And it's probably going to be it for him. I'll probably put in a reliever in the 8th. But Apodaca will face Trio here, 7-1. And that's just a 4, and that's a ground ball. 3 is always to third base. So there's
1 out, base is empty.
There's a cool result in column 4, and sometimes you see it on a batter's card in 4-1 or 4-3. It's a 25. If you ever see a 25 in 4-1 or 4-3 with nobody on base, it's a bunt attempt for a base hit. It always goes to either first or third. 4-1 is first, 4-3 is third. If there are men on base, it becomes a hot shot down the line. So that's kind of cool if you ever see 25s in column 4 at 1 or 3. Kruko's up, so I guess we'll pinch hit for him now because we're going to take him out anyway. For some reason, it's not letting me click on. Why are they not letting me pinch hit for Kruko? That's interesting. Not sure why. It's not letting me pinch hit for Kruko. I don't know why. The last couple of days, for some reason, I've had some issues with freezing and stuff. But usually, you click on the number. All right, we'll let him bat then, I guess.
The manager calls for a pinch hitter.
Ah, okay, here we go. Oh, that's right, I'm managing the Mets. See, that's why. Oh, wow. I am tired. I forgot I'm managing the Mets, that's why. So, Swisher's going to pinch hit for Kruko, and there's a 46 in column 5 to fly out to center. I'm so used to playing both sides, cards and dice, but here the manager's managing the Cubs. So, 46 is
2 outs,
a fly to
bases
center.
empty.
2 out for De Jesus, and 6 is a strikeout. So, that's that. We go bottom 8. Now we're going
They go down quietly, nothing doing this half inning.
So I didn't have to worry about taking out Kruko because the manager
Bottom of the
the
8th.
Cubs are
They're making the
by
call to the
AI
bullpen.
manager. So he's going to put in Paul Russell, Rick Russell's brother, and he had a 4.37 and a 1.36 whip as he pitched. He's pitched 3 1/3, given up 4 hits, has no ERA, 180 whip so far in a year. Phillips with that, and he grounds out. 4 in column 4 is grounded short, 1 out. John
1 out,
Stones with
bases
that.
empty.
And there's a 19 in column 4. 4 in column 4 always goes to the shortstop, and a 19 is just a ground out.
2 outs, bases empty.
Nobody on base, and Harrelson will bat. He's 178 hitter. He's a switch hitter, but he's batting 178. We only have Hodges left, and we can put. Do we have another shortstop? Steiger can play short. So, all right, we'll pinch hit Hodges. Ron Hodges will pinch hit. And again, 2-6, we're going to get a raised number, and a new raised number. It has to be a 1 or a 2 for Cardinal to make this play. And because it's a blue 2, it's left field, because 1 and 2 is always left field. And he makes the play. It became a 1, and he's out.
They go down quietly, nothing doing this half inning.
So now I'm going to have to
Top of the
substitute,
ninth.
because I am managing the Mets. I'm going to have to substitute for short. We'll just put Steiger in. It doesn't matter. Sub him in at short. And Apodaca is now on his B grades. He's run out of batters he can face. It's 7-1 though. Let's see if he can get some outs anyway. He'll face Cardinal, and he does get Cardinal the ground out with 3 in column 5. So we're using his B grades now. 1 out.
1 out, bases empty.
And Larry Bittner's up. And here's a 5, and that's a ground ball in column 4. So that's out. 2 out.
2 outs, bases
And we're
empty.
still using the blue dye for the fielder. So you see, even though we're on his B grades, there was a 5, a blue 5, so it still indicates that it's the shortstop. That's why it was a play to the shortstop. So even when you're on your B grades, you use that blue dye on those column 4s to figure out the infielder. Bobby Mercer, and that's a 6 in column 4, and he is ground. That's just a ground out. And again, we use the 1.
An easy inning
The
to
blue
score.
dye 1
1,
is
2,
always first
3.
base, so that's why it was to the first baseman. Even though we're on his B grades, the blue dye 1 would indicate the first baseman. That's why it was to first base.
Bottom of the 9th.
So we go bottom 9, 7-1. We got a pinch hit for Apodaca. I don't think we have any lefties left, so who's our best hitter? Grody, 268. Mike Vail wasn't too bad. We got Leo Foster, and we got Joe Torre, who only hit 176 that year. I guess we'll pinch hit Mike Vail. He wasn't too bad either. Even though he's right-handed, we don't have any lefties left. And we got a 7. That should be a walk in column 5. So Vail is on. 7 in column 5.
No outs, man on first.
And Lee Mazzilli will bat. And there's a strikeout, a 5. See, Mazzilli has the carrot, but a strikeout is always a strikeout. So even if there was a runner on third, a strikeout would still be a strikeout. It would have to be a pop-out for that carrot to come into play. Like a 7 is a pop-out. So that would be, with a runner on third would be a sac fly.
1 out, men on
But
first.
A strikeout is a strikeout always. And Mian is up with a runner on first. And there's an 18, and that's an infield single. And I think we might still have to check for a wild pitcher pass ball here.
1 out, men on first and second.
Let's see. Yeah, we're still rolling to see if there's a wild pitcher pass ball, and there's column 5 infield hits. So this time it comes up wild pitch, and Russell's a 0, so it's going to be a wild pitch because everything's going to be over 0. So second and third, 1 out. So he must have thrown some wild pitches in his 77
1
season.
out, men on second and third.
Mets threatening, down 6. Milner up, second and third, 1 out. And there's a 9. That's a walk. They've loaded the bases. Now, the D is going to be ignored because there's no open base, I believe. So I don't think
1
we're
out,
rolling on the action
bases
chart.
loaded.
It has to be an open base for those letters to come into play. So bases loaded, 1 out for Kingman. That's interesting. Unfortunately, they're down by 6, so even a King Kong blast here will not do it. But let's see what happens here. Bases loaded. And a 36 in column 5 is a strikeout. So Kingman does what he does a lot, strikes out, and that's going to leave the bases
2
loaded
out,
for
bases loaded.
Kranepool. So Kranepool with the Mets' last chance to keep this going. 7-1, bases loaded. And let's see what happens here. And 7 is a 2 ball with the bases loaded. This is one of those results again. Some of these walk results will change. Normally a 7 is a walk, but you see here with the bases loaded, it only counts as 2 balls, and that's on the charts. So now if we roll a 7 again, it will be a walk because it'll be another 2 balls. So if we re-roll that same another 2 ball result, it will be a walk, but it's not a walk here. It's just
2
a 2
outs,
ball count.
bases loaded.
So a little bit of a break for Russell there with the bases loaded. And now a 19 in column 4 is a ground ball out, and that ends the game.
Chicago
2 out, the infield
wins the
back,
game
and the
easily.
19 is a ground out with the infield back.
From all of us at
So,
Replay Games,
The
thanks
Cubbies
for
win this
playing.
one easily. Krukow flirted with a no-hitter for a while, but he ended up giving up a run and losing the shutout as well. Cubbies destroy the Mets here 7-1, and that's just a little bit of an outlook on how Replay Baseball works. And thanks for watching.